What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling this morning? Dre, I saw you called up. My phone is usually off in the morning. I'll call you. I'll try and catch you on one of these breaks. Hold on. What am I doing?
Of Chicago. They have to look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. The views expressed on our programs are not necessarily those of WVON, Midway Broadcasting Corporation, or our participating sponsors.
Live from the Xfinity Studios at WVON. You're listening to The Morning Show with Mays Jackson on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Rise and shine. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Rise and shine with the WVON Morning Show.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Featuring Mays Jackson.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
The WVON Morning Show. Call 773-591-1690. Wake up! Wake up.
Dang, twice in a row, one. Hello? Well. Oh. Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world! This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson, and you know what? Supposed to be sitting in with me is my cousin Juan. You know what? I'm trying to see if she got on the plane a little bit early, because you know she trying to get up out of here. She probably was like, I had to check Facebook and see was she out partying again last night. Vacation. You know how people be when they in vacation mode? They be like, right, like, you know what? They just be checking out like a whole. You know when you going on vacation, like, or when you getting out of school for the year, you be like, man, you don't even be bringing books to class no more. You just be walking around just like, whatever. You know what? Well, that's okay, because you know what? The soul plane don't stop. We going to get our thing. We going to sit on the runway for a minute, though. So before I do that, though, I got to say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up in that Flournoy? How you feeling this morning?
That means this is the halfway mark to my favorite day on Friday, which I know is not your favorite day, but it's absolutely mine. And so much happening in the news, and of course, your Jussie Smollett story is just the gift that just keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Go away.
You know what? You know what? That old Jussie Smollett. You know what though? I'm looking forward to today's show. So throughout this whole thing, y'all know I get a lot of information. A lot of people inbox me. A lot of people have a lot of perspective. Sometimes that they don't want to share publicly, or that they do want to share publicly. And today we are going to, one of the things I want to do is make sure that people are clear that I'm not anti-anybody. Like, really, I talk about everybody equally. And I do. Y'all stop making that face. Because I'm really not anti. I feel like I'm in a battle for resources. And so I'm going to just call them out. And I'm going to be like, look, if you on that team, that's your team. But today we are going to be talking to Lennox McGee. He is a writer as well as a social commentator who happens to also be openly gay. He's going to be in the studio with us today, and he's going to give us some perspective, maybe not so much the activist perspective, but just like that from like a person that's participating. So I think that might be an interesting conversation today. So this Jussie Smollett, you know what? I'm going to move around, and we're going to come back to Jussie, because we're going to spend us a little time on that. But let me say this. Let me do this. Let me say what's up to the musical conductor of the Soul Plane, Miss Sonia Escobar. Sonia, how are you feeling this morning?
You know what? I'm feeling pretty good, because they said, leave early, but it's not that bad yet.
You know what? It is, speaking of that is true. I'm sorry. You know what? I was prepared to wake up. You know how snow is like the silent getter. You will go to sleep, and it's, like, unlike rain, where you hear, and it's all, and you're going to come outside, and it's going to be sloppy. You can get up, get all the way dressed, have your flip-flops on and everything, and ready to walk out the door, and then raise the garage door up, and it is like a foot of snow out there. And that's actually what I expected this morning. I thought that they said we were going to wake up to snow. But the snow is now just starting to come down.
Yeah, it's a delayed effect. It's a science. They just got the timing a little bit off. But it's coming down now. So that icy rain mixture that meteorologists said we were going to have overnight is actually kicking in right now. So 6:30 is when it's really supposed to pick up its momentum. And we'll see.
Well, you know what? If you have to get ready to go to work, you know what I'm saying? Don't try to extra nudge this morning, fellas. Y'all got to get up and get ready, because you can't be late. You can't speed to work today. You can't. You know how sometimes you get on the expressway and you want to zip around people regardless? This ain't going to be one of those days.
No,
so
it's
make
not.
sure.
And you know what? There's a thick piece of ice that's on the ground just a few feet from my door. And I know it's there, but I forgot it was there because the snow
no.
covered it. I didn't fall.
Okay.
I did the whoa.
That's a whoa.
I was like, whoa.
So
You look around.
So Annette, did you do it like that? Because you have that voice. Whoa.
No,
And
I was like, whoa. I went wailing, but I caught my balance. Boom.
Because I'm the.
It would have been disastrous if I had fallen.
Oh,
I had my purse, and it just would have been messy. And
You're so classy.
But I was okay.
You know what? I'm
I would
gonna
have been
say. Has anybody watched those Ring videos? Like they show, like everybody's got these electronic doorbells, and on ice storms, like if you watch something like Jimmy Kimmel or something, they will show like a clip of everybody busting their own tails on their own sidewalks. It's like they will skate, like you're like what? And it's like a whole string of them, and people will just. But that
would have been me. But I didn't hit the ground. But that totally would have been me.
Like those, do you ever do that and then want to get the points for the recovery? Like when you don't fall, like when it could be really dastardly, and you look around and be like,
I looked around to see who saw.
Yeah.
Nobody saw. It was just me.
And then because it's always somebody around when you fall, but when you stick the landing, everybody's like, what are you talking about? I didn't even see anything. It's crazy.
Right, I give you a 10.
10. All right, it is the WVON Morning Show. We are on the runway. We are waiting for cousin Juan. She's running a little bit late. But hey, check this out. Let's get to some of the news some of the things that are in the news today. First, let's start with the governor will be having his budget address today. How about that? Like, it seems like it was just yesterday J.B. Pritzker got elected, and now, guys, they're about to lower the boom. And when I say lower the boom, I think we're going to be finding a bunch of new taxes. They won't raise the income tax, apparently, but they're going to put a tax on everything. It says like we're going to be in $2.3 billion in debt. So I'll be interested to see how that works out. Everybody is in Springfield. Today is like a feeding frenzy, because if you are in Springfield or you are somebody that is getting funding, you get a sense of whether you're going to live or die. So right now in Springfield, all the lobbyists, everybody is shining up, putting on their brand new suits. You're going to see the legislators. They got their best suits because everybody's going to be there. And the governor, J.B. Pritzker, will make his first address. Well, I'm wondering how much this is going to cost us.
I don't know, but we're looking at taxes on like a list of things. E-cigarettes, I don't care about that. Vaping, don't care about that.
Right. And the vapes I get.
Legalizing sports betting, that's potential money. And, this is going to be his first pitch for the legalization of recreational marijuana. Not for the marijuana itself, but for the startup of the licenses.
Well, we got to figure that out, because this whole legalization of marijuana, if black folks don't get a cut, and I'm telling you now, we can't be playing this minority thing. We have to get a black cut set aside out of this thing, and I'm telling y'all now, we gotta mobilize.
Either that or start pitching all our money together. I got 5 on it.
You got 5? I got 5 on it. Look, we'll talk about that more when we come back after traffic and the weather. It's the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. We're on the runway waiting to get the soul plane up in the air. We'll be back.
More of the Morning Show with Mays Jackson. Talk of Chicago.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing this morning? What's up? Hope everybody is enjoying the WVON Morning Show. You got 5 on it too? Well, let me tell y'all. On this legalization of marijuana, we have to create the opportunity for small licenses and small dealers. I feel like there needs to be a designation for people who buy, who want to sell or distribute as little as a quarter of a pound at a time. Now, I'm not going to get too far into it, but I think if you think about this, you could, for a $600 investment, someone could essentially build a business, a delivery based or whatever. And so what I want to do is make sure that in this bill, we do not there is a subsistence economy that has been created off of there is an economy that is built off of the acquisition of quantities that small. Now, I'm not going to trip out, but I have, before designer marijuana and all of those and cannabis came around, I know many a small business entrepreneur who had enough money to invest $600 or $1,000 at that time. Well, it was like $1,200, but between $600 and $1,200 that ultimately could turn that $600 or $1,200 into a consistent living. So, my point is, I don't want to see that when they make this legal, that the guys who were nonviolent, who have made a living and not shook the boat, I don't want to see them get put out the game, if that makes any sense.
I don't know if you can still do this or not.
I'm gonna work it into the 7:30 with the mayoral debate. So I'm gonna work it in because they talked about this question and it floated over both, and so I'll work it into that. I wanted to do it, but I feel like I don't have. I thought we were gonna have we couldn't get the people for it. So I'll work it in. I definitely will work it in.
That's the Obama
This is for
statement.
8:00. Okay.
And
then
your
this is
guy
old
coming
boy.
in.
Okay.
Isn't somebody coming in at 8 that Melody booked for the show?
That's tomorrow. I thought that was
She
Melissa.
did two things.
Yeah, you're right.
It's Melissa.
Because they wanted the Obama person to come in at that. That's right. So the Sam Cooke guy, one of them couldn't do it, but then he referred me to another guy, and so they want to do it on Friday. But you also have that thing from City. The City Bureau, where they have the entertainment at. The girl that won.
Ravinia? Okay, one back.
Let me find it.
Always on time, gave you my all, baby, be mine. I'm not always there when you call, but I'm always on time, and I gave you my all. Now, baby, always there when you call. Hey, John, look at my face, bro. Don't sleep on your boy, man. I lived a lot of lives in this world. Everybody had to subsistence economy. Can't wait no more. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I keep wanting to say sitting in with me, but sitting in with me is me. And you know what? Let me stop, because I got the morning show team. And you know what? The flight crew is here. I think we're going to put the soul plane in the air. And let me tell you, if we put the soul, we're going to put it, did I say put it in the air? We was just talking about, let me stop. We're going to put the soul plane in the air. We will make a layover and circle back to get wine. But Sonia, let's get this thing to 50,000 feet, because I got some stuff I need to talk about. It is the WVON morning show, y'all. We are getting it up, the soul plane in the air. As I told you, the governor J.B. Pritzker today will give his first budget address. There is expected to be some pain. Looks like we're going to get some more taxes on some stuff, but we got to dig ourselves out of a $3 billion hole. Yesterday, he signed the $15 minimum wage, which was a big deal. Big shout out to State Senator Kimberly Lightford, who has been championing this bill for years and years and years and years and years. And I mean, she has fought tirelessly to get this thing done. And J.B. Pritzker, to his credit, did deliver on that promise. Now, there has been a lot of pushback from businesses, and I am going to say, as a small business owner, I am a little bit concerned about having to pay $15 an hour for certain jobs, right? $15 an hour sometimes is, I don't know if every job is a $15 an hour job. And so I do think that we should be prepared to see things like daycare go way up. I think we should be prepared to see things like home health care go way up. I think that we should be prepared to see the cost of a Big Mac, a pizza, all go way up. One of the things that is so, as I've said before, about what I believe are starter jobs becoming lifestyle jobs or life job, grown-up adult jobs, is that we are now squeezing our young people out of employment opportunities. And so people are looking at what used to be part-time jobs that got you ready to get into the workplace as full-time lifetime jobs. So, it's crazy. I don't know if you all saw the story about the middle class decline around the country, but they say the middle class is almost gone in Chicago. It is kind of crazy, man. I feel like some days, like I go places and I'm like some days. So if you go through the West Loop sometimes, you will see that people are there and they got walking their dogs at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, sitting around sipping tea and coffee. And I'm talking about like a $5 coffee. And I be like, what? Does everybody live like this? Because it is like really becoming rich and poor in Chicago. Sonia, oh my God, turn the plane around, put this thing down, put it down. Oh my God, you know what? Now I know the passengers are gonna be a little bit upset because they like, wait a minute, what do you mean we gotta go back to the airport? Hey y'all, it is Cousin Juan in the building. Juan, what's going on? What you out there hanging out again?
No, I have a new Keurig machine, and I was determined to get my coffee into this bottle. It's like a little cup. You can foam your own milk. Have you seen that Keurig?
See, this is exactly what I was just talking about. She said I was late because I had to get my Keurig working because the cream and the that's them white people problems. That ain't my foaming Keurig with your foaming Keurig.
Yeah.
You're saving. You know what?
$6 for coffee. I paid $1.20.
See, y'all see what I'm talking about?
It's on my vision
See,
board.
I'm telling
It's on my
y'all.
vision board.
This is what I told y'all. I'm telling y'all, these people. I be like, where do they live like this? Think about the world we live in when the black lady comes in. The black lady comes in and says, "I'm sorry, I'm late to my Keurig because I couldn't get the steamed cream to work." I'm like, look.
I promise you.
I'm straight Dunkin' Donuts. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's milky coffee. It's cafe au lait. All right, look. Let me go to. Did you all see the City Club debate last night? City Club WTTW debate. All right, so y'all, we're gonna have to have a little talk about these debates, cause man. All right, did anybody see Lori Lightfoot? So she must have been trying to take a page out the hip book, right? Cause she came in with a leather flappy jacket. I was like, girl, you are so hip for the 80s. I was like, who told you that was cool? I was thinking like, who is your stylist? Cause I'm telling you, she looked like she thought she was fresh. She had her glasses on. She had her afro picked straight out. I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm telling you. And man, I'm gonna tell you what. And Amara was looking good. She had her makeup. You what y'all females say? Your face was beat.
Yeah, she always looks amazing.
She had on like the whole, she had the package up. What you want? Man, I saw Marquin in the audience. I know the white people be looking at Marquin like, excuse me, sir. May I sit here, please? Oh my goodness. But I'm going to tell you, she represented well. For those White Sox fans on the South Side, we are not getting Manny Machado. I'm going to move right on past that. The reward for Demetrius Griffin, in case you do not remember, he is the young man who was found burned alive in the garbage can from Steinmetz High School. The reward has gone up to $15,000. Bernie Sanders got in the race again, in my estimation, virtually ensuring that Donald Trump will be reelected. What the F is wrong with the fashion designers in Europe?
God.
So, Burberry, who told you that it was a good idea to put a noose around? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that, my friends, is crazy.
Crazy. Like, who would think that's fashion? Well, you know that's one of the main industries that has a high suicide. So maybe the person that designed it has suicide.
They need to. Well, let me tell you what they
maybe
need.
That's. I'm trying to find some.
They need. Well, whoever designed that need to use that for real and kill
they need to
themselves.
use it.
How you say kill yourself? They need to kill yourself. I'm gonna tell you, these white folks are out of control. Like they are really, black folks. I'm saying, like, they ain't coming into your neighborhood, but you need to be on high alert. That's why I'm telling y'all, man, y'all be careful when y'all out here in these streets. Check it out. Lincoln Yards is one step closer to getting $1 billion in TIF.
That's crazy.
Hey, like $1 billion.
$1 billion.
I'm just gonna tell you, we might have to have a talk with Lincoln Yards, because Sterling Bay, now let me tell you, Sterling Bay has put some stuff down, but I think Sterling Bay needs to actively recruit and start working on putting buildings on the south side as well as further west. You build $1 billion neighborhood, like, I feel like somebody got to get in their pockets. And I know that, like, our activists are straight. They got their part. But I think that we have got to figure out what is sustained businesses. Like, I want to see if that Lincoln Yards gets built, what's the black ownership percentage in Lincoln Yards? So if they're going to build all these venues that are going to kick out we already can't go to the nightclubs and party downtown. So now they're going to build a whole new entertainment district that we can't be in. I want black participation, not just in the daggone building and contracts when it goes up. I want long-term participation. If you can't move that project to the south, then let us get some money up out of it and take it south. Look, it's Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back after traffic and news and the weather. Woo! Did you go to the Women for Tony? You ain't go to your boo?
What is that?
Women for Tony?
I don't know what that was.
Q Parker from 112 will be calling in on Friday. Because they're going to be here.
Where?
Oh, Chicago.
At the Chicago Winery.
City 112? I need tickets.
So they're...
Baby, you can...
At 8. And then your Sam Cooke Netflix thing, one of those commentary guys is going to call in at 8:30.
Okay.
Pretty packed.
Yep, and we got tomorrow too, right? We got
You booked for tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. Carrie Lester with the green team, and we got Ray Long, Susanna Mendoza. What else did we get?
You got 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, Melissa Conyers, Urban, and what was
8:30 is open.
What was it? Okay, that's cool though. That's enough.
Unless the young lady who did the study on Chicago middle class wants to come on tomorrow. You want to do her at 8:30?
I want to do that at I would want to do that at 7 in the 7 hour.
But you got somebody coming on at 7.
What do I got at 7?
Ray Long.
7 and 7:30, right? We got those.
You get everything packed up until.
Okay, so then
You want to do a Friday? She really wants to come on with you.
Okay.
You want to do a Friday?
We'll do a Friday.
Okay.
Man. All right, y'all. Take a moment. Tennille, chill.
What Tennille say?
Cause Tennille used to love her some 112. Ooh. Tennille and Michelle, 112. I don't know. I think that might have been what made them start working at Power when I was at Power Night when they started volunteering at Power 92. 112. They was They sang everything. 112. They sang baby what Now you can't. Oh God. Now I can't even think of nothing. Do you wanna dance? I can't turn it. No, that's the wrong one. That's 112. Hold on.
I hope y'all enjoying it. Trying to figure out a song.
Okay. Peaches and Cream. Only You. There it is. There it is. Only You. Jesus, the Notorious, just please us with your lyrical thesis. We just chilling. That's the song. Cupid. Look, they going.
Well, how you sing Cupid?
Cupid, so does it let?
Oh, dude, it took me a minute to get what you man. Oh, my
You know you
Lord.
ain't tripping.
I'm
Let's
saying better
see.
than you. I'm just saying.
Let's see.
Tamil, I know who they are, but I don't know what songs they sing. Like, all
Do you wanna dance? Do you wanna dance? I can make it. Oh no, that's the wrong one.
That is not the one.
Here goes Cupid. I can make it. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Here goes Cupid. Oop, you
Oh
can't
no,
do
Cupid doesn't.
that.
Okay, I get it.
Oh, I can't do one too. I gotta find a group for my party, y'all. For my anno.
When is your party?
Well, the anniversary week is April 4th, so I'm
Why
trying
did you
to
first see who's already in town?
somebody 80s and 90s.
That's who's doing the most shows. Like, on March 1st. You got Cut Clothes,
No,
John B.
no. Carrie said that. Fuck, I look like having John B. I beat, yeah, man, John, man.
Just tell me who was here.
I want like somebody asked me about Troop. That would be a good one. So like I want somebody along the lines of the Big Daddy Kane again.
You got Candace, right?
I did him for my 40th.
Slick Rick.
I could do Slick Rick. I feel like he's here all the time. How much is he think?
He's not here all the time. You think he's here all the time?
I've seen Slick Rick in Chicago at least 6 times.
Really?
Yes, without a doubt.
Last year?
No, not last year. Over the last maybe 3 or 4 years. Because Slick Rick is like one of
So he's
those,
trying to bring somebody out of retirement.
not out of retirement. I mean, somebody that's on that's moving around, but ain't like off the chain, stupid, crazy cost. But I got a good. I think. Well, comment is.
Am I able to come with time?
I am. That's the problem for everybody.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Slick Rick, he performs well though. People love him.
Chub Rock. You know, like I saw the that show that Chub Rock did with, I should call Dollar Bill. Cause I liked Kwame, except for Kwame was an asshole in real life. But we was on the top.
It's very few buttholes, but it's a couple though.
Kwame, he wanted to be like, we was like, dog, Vivian Green is more relevant than you now, dog. And he was acting funny on the, we was kicking it on the Tom Joyner cruise, and so they tried to be like, this dinner is for artists only. So Face and his wife was like, I was like, oh, y'all keep y'all stinking. You know, all you gotta do is look at me funny, and I'll be like, yeah, stinking ass. Nobody knows stinking ass dinner know it. And then, oh,
she does be on unsung too.
but she only got like 2 songs.
That's all you want to. You ain't gotta let them sing a bunch of songs, boom, people hear them, and then you come up with a good track after them, you good. I'm just saying.
Adina Howard would have to still look like Adina Howard. I mean,
She unsung, she's still pretty. I'm just saying.
I don't want it to be a one-hit wonder. I think they need to have at least 4 hits. All right.
That's so bad.
I need like
your list is dwindling. You could
like
80, what's it, 80s? 80s?
80s, 90s.
80s, 90s, no one-hit wonders, and still kind of relevant.
No, they don't have to be as long as the people they don't have to be relevant now. It's like as long as they songs was the bomb from back in the day, and people was like, cause they gonna come for the anniversary, and it's like when you hear your cut, you gonna be like, yo, and the anniversary part, like they'll perform in the morning.
How
much was Brandy? Is she stupid cost?
Enemy.
Yeah, that'd be expensive. How much is Brandy?
Brandy would be expensive, but I like Brandy though.
I mean, but Brandy, all the songs she got, but that's why she'd be expensive as hell. What should be about? How much? But how expensive? How much is BBD? 30?
No, I think that probably it's 3 of them. You think they getting $10,000 a gig?
What you think? They get about
like 50 on the low.
Yeah.
To do a house party.
Not a house party.
I mean, I still what you call it as a house party, not a concert.
Yeah.
Are you doing it as a concert?
No.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's when they get into Boogie Down production.
KRS-One.
I'm just saying.
Oh, what does Karis One want? Now that I would do without a second thought. Damn, Karis One, man.
We're gonna really do iced tea.
I wonder what LL would cost to do a concert. I know it would cost a lot, but
A lot.
like, you think he getting more than 200 a show?
No. He ain't selling out arenas like that. Light?
So you said these are the Tony clips.
MC Light. I wouldn't mind doing MC Light too.
Or what's they called? Naughty by Nature?
Well, so how much is that though?
You act like it's like something you go down the grocery list and you like.
I be like, when I shop for talent, it's usually they be like, here go who you can get for $2,500, here who you can get for $5,000, here's $10,000, and then they kind of tell you, and then you be like, okay, I'm gonna stay in this list. Then you be like, oh, when you see the $2,500 list, see the last time I saw John B, he was on the $2,500 list. Then he came back around, he got on the Tom Joyner cruise. See, you gotta get them before they get on the Tom Joyner cruise. Like I could get Positive K. I could get Positive K.
Queen Latifah.
Shit, Queen Latifah.
She ain't went out and rapped in a minute.
She probably ain't.
You stupid.
We'll have you negotiate that deal. She'll work it out.
Let's see. Cause you want them hip hop or does it matter?
Hip hop or R&B, and quite frankly, I like R&B. Like damn, Naughty by Nature would be good, but they probably expensive as fuck. They got, let's see. Somebody tell Marcel from Zazé, blah blah blah, Zazé, to hit me.
I haven't talked to Marcel in forever. Oh, you probably can get Casey and JoJo on a discount.
Really?
They might be, but they could be.
I would love. Hey man, I had a blast at the KC and JoJo concert.
Boy, next time he went at the last concert, he grabbed that lady head like this, and she's like, "Get your hand."
What? I'm gonna tell you, Casey and JoJo did they did a concert at the Harold Washington Center. I was in the front row singing every song with them. But let me tell you, hold on, you. That's not possible. Tell me, can you weather the storm? Oh, 'cause I need somebody who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. She will always be right there. Sunny days, everybody loves them. Tell me, baby, can you stand the rain? Whoa, storms will come. This we know for sure. Can you stand the rain?
Woo!
Love unconditional. I'm not asking just to be. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Sitting in with me is my cousin. That's right, my cousin Juan. Now you know what? She got everybody on the plane mad. They like, you know how it be on the plane. You know how like you be sitting on the runway and it be one person. They be like, excuse me, 1P, please, if you are in the airport, the plane is boarded. We are waiting for you.
I'll be running through. That's me.
And then they come down the aisle, bumping you with their bag, bumping you with the bag. Then they bump you with their. But you be like, look, man. Yes. Wait, hold on. You mean we was like? Then they come in, and then sometimes they come on with that greasy bag, and they be stinking up the plane, and they be like, Dad, and you be like, right. You like look at everybody be looking, but then if you black, like the white folks look at you like they want to look mad, but they want to look mad, but they kind of look because you look crazy when you come down the aisle. White folks be like, oh, right. No problem. All right.
Don't look up.
All right, y'all. Let me get to this because we gotta get to the social media question of the day. All right, so social media question of the day. Hey, y'all. Until yesterday, I was actually beginning to doubt the power of Queen Sugar. That's right. I was beginning to doubt whether Toni Preckwinkle would actually make the runoff. Until I opened my computer yesterday to go to the Sun-Times website, and an ad for Women for Toni popped up and encouraged all women to come meet her at an event where they had free snacks and none other than the Valerie Jarrett. And I mean, and so when you saw the pictures and the photos from this event, you saw all the powerful black women, well, not all of them, because President Steele wasn't there, but a lot of the black powerful women were there. You saw aldermen, you saw black women elite, and then, y'all, she came out. Valerie Jarrett. Now, you know the Valerie Jarrett. This is the woman who made Michelle Obama. And at that point, I said, y'all, she's gonna do it. Toni Preckwinkle has pulled out the big guns. She has got Valerie Jarrett on her team. Black women will unite behind her, and onward she will march into the runoff. And so today, the social media question of the day is, does Valerie Jarrett help black women finally mobilize behind Toni Preckwinkle? Juan, you look at me confused.
Well, I love and respect Valerie Jarrett, but I don't see her enough in Chicago to make that type of influence on me. I don't think so. I think, when you find, as a black woman, when you find another respectable woman like Valerie Jarrett, of course you're going to go there to support her, but I don't think everybody there was probably supporting Toni. I think it was more like, this is like when I bring Dwayne somewhere.
Who's Dwayne? Look. It's like when I bring Dwayne somewhere. Dwayne. Wait, with Dwayne from, who's Dwayne? Look, see how look, like we gotta be like, hey, Dwayne, like Dwayne and Gabs, but the people don't. Okay, Dwayne and Gabs.
When I take Dwayne Wade, even though they may not be there to support the person who's throwing it, they want to come there to see Dwayne. So I think that may have been the reason why you probably saw a lot, is because they don't see Valerie a lot, so they probably just came out. I don't think that's a thing to say if they're gonna support her.
You don't think so? I mean, I think that come on, y'all. Valerie Jarrett, it's like she is the epitome of black women in Chicago. Like, isn't she I feel like it's Valerie Jarrett. Like, she made Michelle Obama.
Are you being for real?
No, I'm serious. I think like all the women don't think that. Black women, tell me, because I thought that when you saw Valerie Jarrett, like, I thought that, like, people was like, okay, Valerie Jarrett has now spoken. She has now said that the next Barack Obama heir is going to be Toni Preckwinkle, and I feel like that, like, and then she puts, like, the Michelle Obama spin on it, and then all the black women are like, yes, onward. We must move forward to support Toni Preckwinkle. I mean, I feel like that's the biggest, you don't think Valerie Jarrett is like, why I'm confused. I thought Valerie Jarrett was like one of the most influential black women in the world, and much less in Chicago. I think
she's don't get me wrong. I think, like I said, highly respected. I just don't think, like, I don't see her as a person, like, if somebody walks in there, like with Michelle, yes, Michelle be like, yes, and vote for her, I'll be like, yes, yes. Valerie, I'll be like, oh, that's who you're voting for?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that's just me, but I think, like, when she speaks places, I'll like, pay attention to it or something like that, but like, I didn't see my Facebook blowing up from it. When something's blowing up or your Instagram is blowing up, that's when you see someone that is influential. So just because you were there with powerful women doesn't mean those powerful women are the ones that were there are influential in changing votes. They're just probably influential in that circle.
So look, you know what, Juan? That's interesting perspective. When we come back, I'm gonna go to some of the calls, and y'all gonna help me out, because I thought that once you got like Valerie Jarrett on the team, that was like almost like the Magic Negro Women Conjurer, and everybody would be like, Pied Pipers, we're going with Toni now. Maybe I'm not correct. Give me a call, 773-591-1690. We'll be back.
I'm kind of agreeing with Juan. Valerie ain't got that.
No, I mean, like I said, I very respect her. I
Right.
think what she's done is great, but I don't think she's influential in my vote.
She's definitely.
And I think that event was probably made for those. Sometimes people make a mistake in thinking just because you have especially in political, where they make a mistake and have political people in the room, but they don't realize they don't have social power.
Right.
So they're not in the social space.
So I need you to come back to that, right? Like I think that's a very good point.
Yeah.
Because I do think so. Again, I think a lot of times politicians think like, okay, like I think that yesterday they really did think that like Valerie Jarrett is. I feel the same way, but and I would tell you that most white politicians think the same way. So Tony playing to white folks, having Valerie and doing that event sends a signal to white people that, okay, all the black women are gonna come my way. That's what it symbolizes politically. And I think that for people who watch or who listen, like if you don't know and you looked at that, this is another example of us educating people. And I think you doing it, like you're doing it from a purely, the reason I'm letting you have this conversation is because you're saying what I know,
Right.
but you're saying it purely out of innocence.
Exactly.
Right? You're not saying it, like if I was to say what you said, they'd be like, he just don't like her.
Exactly.
But you're saying what people know and think and feel, but you're saying it from the perspective of, again, one of the things is like, I don't do politics every day. This ain't my whole life. So if I look up and I see TV and I see, you be like, oh, that's nice that those people are there, but you don't think that means that everybody is going with.
Right.
But when they show it on TV, and then they take it to the white folks and they be like, Valerie has now put the blessing on. And it's like, because white folks don't know who the chief is. Right? And Tony, just like Tony. They think Tony, all the black people love Tony until somebody says, because when they going to talk to some black people? When are they going to hear anything? All they're going to know is what they saw on the news and what Tony's people said. Man, Tony had a rally. She had Valerie Jarrett. 500 women showed up. They were excited, screamed up. They left out of here, and they're all going to tell their friends to go vote for Tony.
And where was that socialism?
So,
and how many friends do those people have?
So, that's...
Who does that influence? Because it ain't influencing me. It's not influencing me.
It's influence of power when power speaks to power.
Okay.
In some instances. But sometimes power needs to know when to speak to the powerless to keep them powerful.
Exactly.
TT is right. It's optics. So let me tell you, in politics, perception is reality. So what they want to do is, again, she's limping into this runoff. She really is. And quite frankly, they're not even 100% sure she's going to make it. So they are pulling out the big guns, but they have shot all their wads, right? So think about this. If the biggest thing she's got is Valerie Jarrett, right? Like it's 7 days away from your election, and you trying to make history and all of this, and the big gun that you pull out is Valerie Jarrett, right? Who has been really, quite frankly, she showed her hand yesterday, because she's been the person behind the scenes kicking people out or saying you're good, you're not. She's been the puppet master behind the scenes of the Tony Preckwinkle, because they were trying to she was trying to build her own. So when you heard her talking about not being the mayor, she was not trying to be the mayor, but be the person who made the mayor. Right? Well, what comes to reality is she don't got the stick that she used to have. Right? She left Chicago. When she was in Chicago, she had a stick. She left Chicago and ignored Chicago, just like the rest of the Obamas, ignored us, and then came back like, yo, I'm back. Like, it's one thing if you leave town and you come back regularly and you be like, hey, y'all.
To promote anything.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't feel authentic.
And
It doesn't feel authentic.
so now she want to come back and like kind of act, and all the people who were down with her in the past, like at Habitat and all that, they like, man, if we put Tony in, then we're all back in the circle. But she, because they did nothing for black people, right? The only people that even appreciate her are the upper deemed worthy to come to the White House Negroes. Now she don't got no stick when she comes back because she didn't help no damn body. Who did she help? How did the President of the United States benefit us in Chicago? Like, to me, she should be able to come back here and be like, I made your ass a millionaire. You did 10 events at the White House while you was gone. One, I'll be seeing your ass right over here. You'll be throwing. No, I'm serious. Like, you would go through. Now, if she was doing her thing the way she was supposed to do it, what would have happened was she would have had built up a bunch of black people in Chicago that she could have just said, now, while we was in the White House, we made all y'all. We made you rich, you rich, you rich, you rich. The same niggas are rich. And they're dying off. Yeah. So now and it's the same thing that's happening to them on the Obama Presidential Library right now. I'm not going to trip, but here's the lick. They didn't help nobody. Then they came back with this project like, you niggas need to be happy that we doing this project and shut the hell up talking to us about a community benefits agreement and just be happy we bringing this to you. Because they had Rom and they had the whole white crew, right? And they ran roughshod over all the black folks. The black folks want to fight in the streets. The white folks tie your ass up in court. Now, these white folks got your ass in court. You didn't make no friends. You just kept your little circle of elite black folks. And now when it's time to go to the fight, because these white folks will tie this shit up in court forever, and Obama then will fuck around and put it in Hawaii, just like they did with the Lucas Museum. Right. But now, because you told everybody kick rocks, you ain't got no army of black folks like, man, save the Obama Library. What you got is these Negroes that you went and got who was complicit, who would help you ignore the community instead of build bridges to the community. So right now, you look at your Obama Presidential Library board, that advisory board that they put out, how many of them can talk to the people that's getting ready? How many of them can go outreach beyond on some Big Willie stuff? How many people can talk to the guys in the streets? Bet you stay, get your booty on the floor tonight, make my day. Give me a quote. Give me some quotes. We're gonna just run a bunch of them. Like, I'm gonna come back and then I'm gonna have you just run a bunch of quotes. All right? You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. Sitting in with me is my cousin, Juan Teague. And yeah, we are talking about this Tony Preckwinkle situation. Valerie Jarrett mobilizing all the black people. I'm going to tell you, we got a string of Tony Preckwinkle greatest hits. Play them, Sonia. I want to hear them real quick.
Will you return all of the money raised from the fundraiser that Ed Burke held for you?
To be determined. I had a meeting with Ed Burke, and he shared with me that his son was looking for a new opportunity. If we'd known of the investigations, I wouldn't have hired him. It's clear he can no longer uphold the integrity of public office and should step down from his role as alderman immediately. Our budget director has sent to each of the separately electeds a letter pointing out that the loss of revenue means that there'll have to be 10% cuts in their budgets. I mean, we have three choices: cuts, revenue increases, and borrowing. We made very, very difficult decisions last year that resulted in $300 million in cuts. But as a result of those decisions, structural changes that we made, we ended up in a pretty good place this year. But let me say a few things about what's going on in property and taxation. You know, when I came into office, I like to say I was following somebody who was inept. A 40% reduction in the jail population by reducing the number of people in the jail accused of nonviolent crimes, accused but not convicted. And that's had a dramatic impact on our present finances and our long-term financial stability.
We don't see anything.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
You go on and on about this.
I didn't interrupt you. Don't interrupt me.
President Purple, do you just not want to?
No. What I'm going to say
answer the question about Joe Barry.
Listen.
Y'all, that was Tony's greatest hits. And so, you know what? I got to ask, you know what? Sonya got a whole bank of them. But Juan, I'm saying, I think with Valerie Jarrett, wouldn't that help her get away from all of that? I mean, Valerie Jarrett is like the magic. Isn't that like the ultimate? You know what? I got to talk about it when I come back. Traffic news and the weather is next.
The talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation.
She had greatest hits. The hits. Now we're gonna add. We're getting ready to have a conversation with a gay black man, Lennox McGee, regarding this Jussie Smollett. But we're gonna finish this conversation. Hey, Sonya, tell Sonya to keep these calls because I'm gonna take the calls before I bring him in. How do I? Juan, where you be going in Punta Cana?
All right.
You got a hookup? Well, I mean, I know you used to work there. No, I mean, is it a?
It is, I'm not joking, like, it is probably the best all-inclusive resort I've ever been to, and I've been to my fair share. And I don't say it because it was hard. It really
Do they give you real drinks?
Top shelf. Tito's, Patron, Hennessy.
How's the food?
Amazing. And you don't have to have no reservation, anything like that. 9 restaurants, 13 pools.
Oh, we might have to do that.
And you, like,
Is it super expensive?
No, I went with, so when I turned 40, it was 39 of us, and we only left the resort once.
I don't like to leave. Once I go to a good all-inclusive.
We went to an island and did all of our excursions, but then a lot of the excursions are there. The spas, the known nightclub is at the Hard Rock. So you don't even, if you want to go to nightlife, it's at the Hard Rock.
Oh, in Punta Cana. You know what? That we went to dinner there. You know what? Yeah. We went to Punta Cana for our honeymoon. Mm-hmm. And we went to the Hard Rock for dinner one night.
In that glass room?
It was good as hell. Like, we was so mad. I think it was. Yeah. And it's got a casino.
Yes.
And
you can look out at the casino at the dinner.
Yes. Lennox?
Hey, how are
What's
you?
up, man? How are you? Nice to meet you.
All right.
Grab a seat over there. We'll get you in.
Yeah, how are you? Good.
I'm going to finish up this conversation that I'm having, and then we'll add you.
Okay.
Jump in.
You probably want to come here so you can have both.
Yeah, so just y'all split that space. You know how to do it.
You know what? You get another chair. Nice chair.
Why do I?
You still throwing parties?
Yeah.
What party's next?
Heineken, March 3rd at Christmas.
Nice. I totally underdressed for this.
Huh?
Underdressed. I wear coat.
Oh, you can wear coat?
No, he's got that big old scarf with him. I'm like, are you warm?
Okay, you don't mess up my stuff, mommy.
That's even worse.
Mess around, man.
That's even worse.
Why you put? Wait, why? Where's this?
That's over here.
Here, stop. I just put this away. Now, take. Wait, pull. I just don't want to. Hold on. All right, pull. Okay. Oh my goodness. You know what? Maybe I will do. I just need a. I took off. It's like I just can't relax here. I just cannot relax at the crib. Like I feel like even if I'm off, it's like it's 3 million things to do, and people, and like, man, I think I might.
Can't cut off.
Man.
Mackie, I can't wait till Friday.
I'm like, man. I was thinking like I really would love to be on like the Friday leave the station and be on a Friday, Sunday regular, like twice a month. Just be like, you know what? I'm out of here. All right. Lennox McGee, right?
Yes.
Lennox McGee. All right. Now, Lennox, tell everybody what you do and a little bit about yourself. This so you know we're on Facebook Live as well as YouTube.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I am a co-host and executive producer for the SIP radio show, and I also write for the Chicago Community Media Group as a blogger.
Okay. The SIP.
Yes.
Now talk to me about that.
Oh, SIP is it's one of the only radio shows in the country that's hosted and produced by 3 gay black men.
I remember that. Okay.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Okay.
We cover everything from world news that's happening in gay worlds all over.
So you might have to make you our gay correspondent at some point.
I think that's what I am today.
All right, so we're gonna have a. So it's so funny to me. Can I tell y'all how it makes? So this is what's funny to me. I just need to point this out. So all of these people who I be plugging up, like ours they plug. They be trying to go around me on my own joints.
I hate when that happens.
It's like
people remember protocol.
it's like I'm gonna have to start. It's like people.
I started telling people off the front. I'm like, look, no. No.
Look, you know what? I got people on the books that's got jobs. I got people on the book. And once you know how the quickest way to make sure somebody will never talk to you, stay away from you, get their ass a job when they was on the ground. You get their ass a job when they was on the ground, then they think they owe you, so they want to run from you. Right? They be like, oh damn, that isn't. So it's funny. It's funny to me that the Chicago Federation of Labor is advertising the WVON morning show. That's really odd to me.
They're advertising?
Yes.
Why
and
is it odd?
Well, it's odd. It's not really odd. It's like, one day we'll have this conversation. I'm not going to talk about it right now. We're not going to talk about this conversation. But loyalty is really a lost art form. Loyalty is a lost art form. And what I believe is that people's desires, it is... When people think you're gonna fall off, or when people think that you're down, you truly see who your real friends are. And so, it's like I have been disappointed by quite a few people.
I think I learned in 2009 when I was at really excelling and Kanye, that was when Kanye I did his first event, the big one that everybody started to know me and my team about. And then I was I brought this, I was a part of bringing this festival called Just for Laughs, right? It was a huge comedy festival. And I had to have a surgery. And at first I was like, oh my life, no, I can't go have this surgery. Everybody's gonna miss me, I learned real quick when I went into that hospital and was in that room by myself, and life moved on, and the people that was there were my loyal friends, and I learned real quick that I'm gonna cherish my true friends and my family, and a lot of this is just a season.
I feel like I learned a lot about, when I learned the most? During Ken Duncan's campaign. During Ken Duncan's campaign, I learned that people, when they thought that they could climb over by stepping on my dead body, they took the shot. They stepped on my body. The problem was I didn't die.
I feel that.
That's cute.
I'm gonna use that one.
I'm gonna steal that. I'm typing it now.
Morse, forced to the.
This is only when I'm background, because I don't be knowing these songs.
Okay.
I don't know these songs. That's only when I'm background, because I don't know these songs.
I'm getting old, so I'm not keeping her. shoulder. You gotta get that dirt off your shoulder. You gotta get that dirt off your shoulder.
You gotta move your shoulders.
Oh,
You know,
good.
You can't just be sitting there just looking.
You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. And y'all, we are getting it in the studio. You know what? We are sitting there with me is my cousin, Juan T. You know what I'm saying? Gotta say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, as well as Miss Sonia Escobar, the musical conductor of the Soul Playing, as well as Black Sonia. That's right, my super producer. That's right.
I'll be asking which song you talking about.
Which Sonia? Black Sonia, Brown Sonia. Look, I'll tell y'all how it is. That's how we get it in. All right, y'all. Now, we also have in studio Lennox McGee. And Lennox, tell us your blog again.
Yeah, so I have a blog on ChicagoNow.com, which is a part of the Chicago Tribune network. It's called Lennox and the Second City.
And you also are the host of...
I'm the co-host and executive producer for a radio show called The Sip, and it's one of the only radio shows in the country that's hosted by 3 gay black men, and we cover everything from gay black news from around the globe. We have journalists in Africa and London and all that good stuff, so we have them call in and tell us what's going on in their country.
Now, are you sure you can be in the studio with me? Are you nervous? Because, you know, people get nervous when they come in. They be making up all types of stuff. Like, they be like, Maze is a homophobic guy. Right. Are you all good? You
I'm
good?
totally good. I'm your gay correspondent.
Right. I'm telling you, y'all, we got it. So, look, we're going to talk, because you know what? I'm looking forward to talking to you about this Jussie Smollett situation. But before we go, I do want to finish up on the social media question of the day, which we did not finish. And then I'm going to take your calls. Juan, I was under the impression that and forgive me because I'm a man, and so I really just assumed that by Toni Preckwinkle bringing in someone of prestige like Valerie Jarrett, that she pretty much would now galvanize all the black women in Chicago, and they would march to the polls and support her. You don't seem to think so, but it seemed like the event was super packed.
I mean, the event can be super packed, but was it effective? Which means one of the things that I've learned about, like I said before, power talks to power, and power needs to know when to talk to the powerless. And I think one of the things that a lot of people of power forget is the power of social media. And so even though you had that power of influence in the room, I don't know how that effectively helped the people that are voting. Mm-hmm. And I think with Valerie Jarrett, like I look at her, she's one of the people, you know, one of the women that you're like, she's doing it, you're proud of her, you know. And even with Toni Preckwinkle, you know, I don't take down any black woman, but I think what they did wrong is that to me, Valerie Jarrett just looked like an appearance. I pay for like Big Daddy Kane to come in, make your appearance, and leave. Yeah.
Okay. Lennox, you had something you want to say on that?
No, I agree with everything she just said. I mean, I think Toni may actually take the seat for the mayor office as well. But
you think so?
I think so. Even though.
Okay, wait. So
I know.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. Say.
No. I just think that she's the most notable as far as name recognition, right?
Yeah.
And also, I think some of her policies and some of her ideas for Chicago, I think, would won me over.
Now, do you think that has anything to do with your LGBT-ness?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even Lori Lightfoot, who's running as well, which I wish could win, but she's not. Yeah, it has a lot to do with my LGBT, being a gay black male here in Chicago.
You know what? You might be staying for the hour because we're gonna add this. No, I think it's a different perspective that we can add, and I think it might be fun to do. So look, but let me do this before we go. I want to go to the phone lines. I want to ask the social media question of the day. Black women, talk to me. Does Valerie Jarrett supporting Toni Preckwinkle will it finally mobilize black women behind her? Let me go to T. You're on the Talk Chicago 1690.
Good morning, Maze. You and your guests.
What's up, T?
Hey, man, look, I don't pardon the bun with the gay gentleman there, but I smell something fishy here. And I think basically this is a cry of some type of mythical conduct or some gynocracy type thing. And it's just basically window dressing. I recall, this reminds me back in the 90s when I went to a party with some co-workers. And, you know, that's when Hyde Park was popping. You remember Hyde Park? And basically, a lady friend invited us to a party. And me and my boy was wondering, Why these women ain't talking to us? And then we come to find out, these were the Afrocentric types with the mud cloth and, the dreads and stuff like that. Most of the women were gay. And it was like, we see right now, this is, and that's what I'm seeing. It's like, there's no Wakanda. Black people are suffering in Chicago. The people of Chicago are not fools. We are not fools. We are not being fooled by this rally cry of women that Tony Preckwinkle, Lori Lightfoot, and even Amara Ingram. She's intelligent and she's clear, but she's just not ready for the game, baby.
Dang, T, you snapping, dog.
Yeah, you were using big words I can't even pronounce. Dang,
T. Oh, y'all going hard on the WVON morning show. Dang, we just got the brother in here.
No.
Brenda, you on the talk of Chicago.
All the way up WVON, so we pause.
Brenda, you on the talk of Chicago. Will Valerie Jarrett finally galvanize black women behind the Queen, Sugar?
Hell no.
Damn!
And I agree with the brother. He put it on the map like it's supposed to be, okay?
Uh-oh.
Bringing Jared in ain't gonna change nothing. Black women, real black women, we know the game, like the brother said. And we ain't gonna fall for it.
Oh,
I mean, there's been very drastic things going on in the city of Chicago. She didn't come here when it was shooting. Why didn't she step up to the fort then? That's all I gotta say.
Oh, y'all, see, man, y'all.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
That's true.
I think Valerie has a more of a national presence than she does.
Yeah, I think so too. Like she's natural. Yeah.
Oh,
I agree with that. I think she's dope as heck.
Yeah, she's dope.
I think she's dope as heck, but I think Chicago got some real issues going on, and I think you can't put the chocolate icing on it by having an appearance.
Right.
Oh, you said if you got appearance fee, it don't count. Sister Zakia, talk to me.
Good morning, May. Good morning to all of your guests there this morning. Now, listen, this is no disrespect to our sister Valerie Jarrett, but she has absolutely no influence on me and a whole lot of black women. Maybe a few bougies. They're in a minority, Most of us are suffering, and we coming together, and we black Wakanda women. Now, remember this. She was an advisor to President Obama. So why didn't she advise him to sign an executive order that would benefit black people like he did for gays with the same sex, Latino immigrants with the Dream Bill? And this last thing I want to leave with you, because she didn't advise him to do nothing for us, but this last thing, remember when she held city offices, especially with CTA? She was a barrier of bad news. Oh, the CTA bus pass has got to go up. Oh, the fare is going up. Who the hell wants somebody in place that's got to bring you bad news all the damn time,
Sister Zakia, let me tell y'all what. We're going to keep this. Lennox, how much time you got? You got time. All right, so Lennox, you got to hang out because we got to take these calls, and then we're going to still have your conversation because we still got to get to Jussie Smollett. But if you're calling in on this, I need y'all to tell me because, Valerie Jarrett is back. And she trying to tell y'all.
Does she live here?
Oh, see what?
He said she's back. Did he not say she's
back? Y'all gonna be in trouble. It's so Chicago 1690. I'm gonna tell it. We'll be back at the traffic and the weather.
I think they hate her. I don't think people hate her. I think right now this mayor election is so crazy because there's so many candidates and you really want to make the right decisions. I think right now people just need to come with the conflict. I respect the candidate. If they literally say, I'm going to the west side, south side, no forum, I just want to come and talk to people and understand. Come up north to the gay community. Go into these communities. No forum where it's a question and, you have to answer this way. Don't ask me these questions.
Damn calls. I couldn't keep
up with the calls. You gotta let these, if they good. If they having good calls, he gonna stay. So I'm gonna do him at 7:30. We're gonna keep taking these calls.
Okay. How that affects your community. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. So one of our listeners is doing a study on black men, period. But the one study he's doing is on black gay fathers, and he wants to talk to you.
Okay. I have a dog, but I have
So look, I already feel like the Howard Stern, like, and now from our gay black correspondent.
Thank you, man.
And now I'll take it away. Break this down.
I have a dog. I don't know what I'm gonna say about that. Right. You know.
Oh,
that dog made that dog made something to say. Yeah, that's funny.
So when's your party? Is this week?
No, next Sunday, March 3rd.
Not sure. How do you know this is the best party? Where's it gonna be?
Prison.
Do you always do your parties?
I do. I'll do 4 this year.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't do like some of the stuff I don't do, but I do 4 this year. I'm doing 4 this year.
What are you promoting?
Just Heineken, like the major thing that I'm doing different this year is really, I think Chicago doesn't embrace their local people, local DJs, local artists and stuff, live music. So probably going in that direction.
Have you heard of So Far?
I love So Far Sounds, the small.
Yes. I love So Far. Like I went to a comedy show, then they had a music set.
Okay, I haven't been to them. I've just been seeing them on the show and stuff like that.
It was at a furniture store, like an upscale furniture store.
Oh, so you might follow it for real.
Yeah. Yeah, they're cool.
No one, you need to look at these comments. Are you looking on
No.
Facebook? You're looking at yourself. He is that's the gay people. They be so
extra.
And let me show y'all his screen. Now I'm changing it. But he was just looking at himself. Like, he didn't even have us, like, you see how I got 2 of us, like, on the page. He's all about himself right now.
I know I hear people say that too. They come in and just like.
Oh, I love my gay friend. Yes, I said gay first. Yes.
What are they saying on there though?
See, that's us up there.
Let's have a dog, that's cute.
So if you go on Maze's page on Facebook, and then you share his page, then you'll be able to see yourself, like everything that's going on, and then you share that with your people.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Are you still with the Hard Rock?
So interesting you say that. I actually am just because I left the hotel industry full time, but now I'll be consulting now. But it's not the Hard Rock anymore. It's called St. James. Hey Sharon, we need to say some hellos because we just been going in. Hey Sharon,
yes.
Hey Buster, hey Nicole, Tucson, Darren Green, Robin, Christian, Annette Ward, Robin Patrice, David Flowers from Texas. What's up?
Texas, don't mess with Texas.
Texas. Come on vacation, leave on probation. That's what they say when going to Texas. Come on vacation, leave on probation. I promise you. Marion, who else? My cousin Carl and Angie. Hey. Tangi. I always say her name wrong. I mess up names. Tennille, of course. Terry, my cousin Terry. Who else? Hey, Deborah Vines. Who else on here? Alonzo.
Who else on here?
Right.
Hey, my cousin Lisa from Iowa. Verdella, I'm on a roll. That's that new coffee. It's with my new Keurig machine.
Keurig machine.
Have y'all seen the Keurig machine? It's popping.
I have not. I've only used it once.
I bought a Keurig machine because it was like the end thing to do, and I never used it.
No, this new one.
I mean, I haven't
got a
used
little
it.
cup right there. You put latte, and it steams the milk.
Okay, so I don't. Right, that's bougie black people's problem.
Valerie Jarrett people.
I do have a little class.
She didn't. Especially for for Collins Cobra. I didn't even know they knew how to. I didn't even know Collins people had latte.
Let me tell you something about my Collins Cobra.
Right.
All of them are doing. All my Collins Cobra friends are doing very well. Hey Gordon, shout out to Gordon Collins Cobras.
We back. Hey, Lord bar.
Smoking on. Hey,
y'all got the camera. Remember, it's a delay. I'm on the corner, face, waking, feeling good today. I'm so up from the flow up, sipping on some Crown Royal.
You know how to dance. Don't.
Go fine, bloated, dandy.
We need to bring him on the show.
What is he doing now?
Hey.
Constantly. You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Sitting in with me is my cousin, Juan Teague, and I got my man Lennox McGee in the building as well. Look, you know. Dang, you said the gay cousin. So look, y'all. Now we're gonna talk about this in a little bit, cause see, this is the problem. See, I treat everybody like I discriminate equally. Right, I discriminate against everybody. I talk smack against everybody, but it seems like it's certain protected things. Like I feel like the more you can talk smack, the more accepted you are. But we're gonna talk about that. But I want to get. I still am trying to get to this. I thought Valerie Jarrett was like the magic female Negro conjurer, right? Like I thought that she could come in and sprinkle some black girl magic dust. Do you think Toni Preckwinkle believes in black girl magic?
I told you the other day, I don't think she knows what black girl magic is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I get that.
Yeah, I don't think she understands what that is.
Yeah.
Because she's older too.
It's a generational
thing. That's what I said. It's a generational thing. I don't think she understands what that is.
So is that why she was on the tape trying to tell all the white folks to call against the black? Let me stop, cause I'm a hater. Tell Sonya, do we have that tape? All right. So look, let me go to the phone lines, cause I want you all to answer the social media question of the day. Black women, talk to me. Will Valerie Jarrett finally mobilize black women around Toni Preckwinkle? Temple, you're on the Talk of Chicago, 1690.
Good morning, Maze, Juan, and Lennox. The answer is a resounding no. I am unimpressed with Valerie Jarrett. I could care less who she gets to support her. No, and no again. Are we to presume that the Obamas and Oprah Winfrey are going to come in here to try to help her like they helped Daley and launched the Olympics? No. That sugar tax, burials, and a host of other things was Burke? Absolutely not. Thank you.
Temple, tell us how you really feel. All right, y'all. Now let me tell you on the live line. Can I tell y'all what? One of my favorite elected officials in the whole county of Cook, maybe even in the whole state of Illinois, is this woman. Let me tell you what, they have treated her so bad on so many occasions. The Democratic Party has played her to the left. Toni Preckwinkle has made it her business to be all up in this woman's business, but yet and still she always finds a way because she's always with the people. WVON family, welcome to the WVON morning show. Clerk Dorothy Brown. Whose phone is that? Oh, that's that Sonya bit. And hold on, I forgot. No. And to top it all off, y'all, Dorothy Brown got her phone back. That's right. Sonya is crazy. I was like, turn your phone off. WVON family, welcome our sister Clerk Dorothy Brown. Welcome, Dr. Clerk Brown. How are you this morning?
Hey, thank you, man. Good morning to you and all of your other guests this morning.
I got my two cousins. I got my gay cousin and my cousin Juan. So it's all a family affair right now. What's going on?
Whatever.
Maze, I agree with all the listeners that have called in so far. Valerie Jarrett will have no effect on this election. As a matter of fact, it's a little disrespectful for her to come in at the last minute like this and assume that we will follow her lockstep. I worked for Valerie Jarrett, and the CTA attempted to put in place a way to monitor whether or not minority contracts were getting properly handled, and that was not something that she was actually interested in. Toni Preckwinkle, of course, when she took over the county, she actually fired a lot of African Americans, including one of the WVON hosts, Chantal Strasburg. She gave her 20 minutes to clean out her desk. And so she has not had a lot of respect has not shown a lot of respect for African Americans and African American women specifically. Of course, Toni Preckwinkle only challenged women of color, and especially black women, during this last ballot premiere. She only challenged women of color's petition. So what does that tell you? She did not want our help then, She should not get our help now.
Ooh.
So I saw that flyer. It said, be fair to Tony. What do you mean, be fair to Tony? Tony hasn't been fair to anyone. She fired her chief of staff, of course, but she lied about that. She lied about the talk shows she had. And then, of course, she had to lie to the Inspector General, because why did he recommend firing her chief of security when Tony Prewinkle is actually the commitment? That chief of security had no reason to want to have political literature in that particular county card. And then finally, I want to say this. When Tony Prewinkle took over, she was so bent on getting back at Chief Judge Evans, who we know that the only reason she became alternate is because her campaign set out a piece of literature that actually was racist against Tony Prewinkle's husband, who actually was a Jewish gentleman. But we found out after she won that her own campaign sent out. So every time she's won, she's pulled some kind of chicanery, and so some kind of trickery has occurred. We don't need someone that's a liar. But I want to say this. When she took over in an attempt to put the final nail in Judge Evans' coffin, and ever since she's been in office, she's been fighting Judge Evans, and she's been fighting me. Every step of the way, we have a problem getting people hired, getting people hired, getting our budgets passed.
I got a wrap.
Come before the board have a problem. But what she did was this. The judges had a secondary insurance that all of the board presidents have permitted them to have. And when some of them went to her and said, you know what, this will make a difference between some of our family members' health. One in particular talked about the fact that his family member, his wife, had cancer and had no pity whatsoever from what I understand, and actually still took away that insurance. He said, this can make a difference between my wife dying and have no mercy. Do we want somebody that has that kind of a heart, that does not care about people in general? And I
gotta stop you right there. I gotta stop you. Clerk Brown. I gotta stop you. But real quick, do you believe in black girl magic though?
I believe in black girl magic. Why do you think I'm supporting Amara Enya, the woman that I believe is important for us to have the seismic shift in the political machine politics with control over this city.
Gotta stop you right there. Clerk Brown, we appreciate having you on. She's supporting Amara Enya because she believes in black girl magic. Hey, y'all, when we come back, we're going to talk to my man Lennox McGee because I got to talk to my gay cousin about what is going on with this Jussie Smollett. We'll talk about it all when we come back. Stop Chicago 1690.
Live from the WVON News.
That was a speech, Dorothy.
No. Dorothy Brown. No, Tony Prewinkle has made a career out of stalking and trying to hurt Dorothy Brown personally on a political side.
That's the one thing I hate seeing. Like, I actually sat down with Dorothy Brown and actually really...
She's a great campaigner. She will get you. Yeah. She will get you. She will have your ass volunteering. She will have you putting together events. She will be like, what you do, baby? Look, you will be at the event. She'll take your car, and tomorrow she'll be calling your ass. Talk about I have an opportunity.
No, for real. And she coached it.
Really?
C-O-G-I-C.
Oh, really? I'm telling you, she killed them churches.
Yeah, she this is the Church of God in Christ. Yes. You can't join it. You got to be born in it, because that is the Church of God in Christ. Yes. That's where Dorothy Brown is from.
That is crazy. I never met her before, but
yeah, she is always dressed to a T, baby. She is dressed to a T. All right, let's say hello. Are you watching yourself?
I am not. I'm not.
Yes, I'm telling y'all, he is watching himself. Like, and didn't wear no coat. We have been in the 20s for about a month. And he come from Miami talking about, he forgot to wear a coat. That's bougie.
I have a big scarf though.
Yes.
That's actually represents a blanket.
Wait. See, this is the gay scarf. Hold on, y'all.
It's so gay.
Look, this is the gay. He made a blanket into a scarf. Hold on. That's what gay people do. They make stuff out of stuff. He came in here. I thought this was scarf.
why.
I need a blanket scarf. That's what it made a blanket scarf. I am cracking up laughing. That's what it made. He said, "Oh, I have a scarf. That is a blanket scarf. He gonna patent it. The blanket scarf. Hilarious. Put us on your screen and show us.
All right. I showed us already.
You really trying to figure out the news?
No, I just want to make sure I got all the up-to-date facts.
Just throw it out. You already know the up-to-date. We don't need up-to-date. I don't even remember what happened like 10 minutes ago.
Really?
Yeah. So what comes to your mind?
All right.
You be looking at all that. You got like 5
1,000 times now.
Yes, you're going to get tongue-tied. And people going to be like, what is that boy talking about? Just let it flow. Let it flow.
Are you a host here?
No. I'm a guest host. I'm the cousin. I come in from time to time.
Oh, that's nice. Dude, you know Africa, right? Africa Porter. I was talking to her.
Africa.
Oh my gosh, she's like my sister. Like, I love her.
Dope woman.
Yeah.
Dope girl. Doing
So
a lot of
genuine.
good stuff.
Yeah, she really is.
Hey, Africa, if you listening or looking at one of them. All right, hey, Kimberly. Hey, Terrence. See, he don't know what I'm saying, cause
I'm getting on your page.
Get on the Maid show.
Get on the page.
Y'all better go get that cure if y'all trying to save money in 2019. I'm just telling you. And you can go to like Sip and Saver, go get the coffee things or the coffee thing, and you can actually put it in a little coffee thing and then go do it, do it up. Yep, go to Sip and Saver. What's some other black coffee places?
Oh, there's one on 61st and Woodlawn.
What's that called?
Damn, what's that called? The Green Line, I think it's called.
Oh yeah, the Green Line, they got good coffee. But if they sell the coffee beans. But I'm trying to save money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your Keurig.
With my Keurig. But I did the math. I was spending almost $100 a week on a coffee, and my Keurig was $199. I would have paid that off in less than 2 months.
There you go.
Boom. Just so you know, Robust is the black coffee.
Robust is, yeah.
Yeah. Hey Liz, hey Tammy Jackson, hey Patricia Edwards. Shout out to my girl Patricia. Terrell Burns. Terry said I'm giving my cousin Terry said I'm giving you a great orientation. Oh, he finally logged on, y'all. Let's give him a shout out to Lennox for not just looking at himself on his. He finally shared. Now share the page.
I shared it.
All right, just make sure you share it.
I shared it.
You know, we got.
Juan talking crazy. Juan be looking at on there. I told y'all to let them.
No, I don't. I be making people share. Like I be asking my people to share. Like.
All right. I do too on my show. I'm like, share, please.
Right. So how you gotta do unto others?
I was trying to do that.
You gotta do unto others. You can grab and do it.
That's Jussie Smollett problem.
Well played.
Well played.
Oh goodness.
Akira's on 18th and State is a black-owned coffee shop too.
Huh.
Oh yeah, and they got and they have pralines.
Yeah.
They have beignets.
You can get the coffee grind.
Beignets too.
They have beignets.
Nice.
Yep. Yep. They make them for you. I want to say they make them right there, like on the spot.
You drink Verdella? Do I drink that drink with milk? Yeah, just a little bit, because you know at my age you can't do too much milk.
I drink milk. I don't drink no milk.
They drink milk coffee.
This is Cafe Olay. What y'all talk about? When I went to New Orleans, they called this Cafe Olay at Cafe Du Monde.
You are in Chicago at Dunkin' Donuts, and that is called milk
coffee. Is too. Okay, well, milk coffee it is.
You are at Dunkin' Donuts.
You don't say in New Orleans. It was called Cafe.
I am a connoisseur.
In Chicago.
Look, see, that's because Juan went to college and she's not a connoisseur. She doesn't understand Cafe Olay. You got to say coffee with a lot of cream.
Exactly. Talk about New Orleans. It was not New Orleans.
All right.
Oh, that man said, "Can I take your order?" And he put a bunch of milk in there.
I mean, I'd be like, I say.
Let me see May's coffee come up. All the milk.
And I can see it when I see it, and I be like, wait, that's too dark. Like if they put like 5 creams instead of 6, I'd be like, yo, hey, dog, that don't look right.
Yes.
Let me tell y'all what though, if they didn't put more cream in here, do y'all know I'd be bouncing off I'm already bouncing off the walls.
Yeah,
like if I was drinking coffee like straight.
How much milk is in that coffee? It's like the color of your jacket.
It is a lot. No.
It is the color of your jacket.
See, now y'all want to discriminate against light skin.
Baby, my stomach.
All right, we back.
Y'all better not try it. I did not hire them brothers to
Y'all
jump
are
me.
so
Go out here in the street. Fuck that.
Gay Tupac.
This is not Jussie's song.
No, it's not.
What is this?
I don't know. They made this up. They probably did this.
Listen.
Y'all are so crazy.
Oh my. What is that?
You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I am your host, Maze Jackson. Sitting in with me is my cousin, Juan Teague. And my gay cousin, Lennox McGee, is in the building. Let me tell you, that was the parody. Sonia, did you tell me who that was? Because that was the gay Tupac, right?
Is that what everybody's been talking about?
I think it is.
Oh, yes,
so it's the music is by Mr. Bankshot, and that is the parody of, actually, and the video is Robin Roberts and him going back and forth with him sitting in against Jussie Smollett. But y'all, from day one, this Jussie Smollett story came out, I questioned it. I questioned it not because of the LGBT component of it. I questioned it because of the common sense of it. Just being a Chicagoan and just being like, knowing it was the coldest day of the year, like coldest. They had put, every news report was like, do not go outside. Whatever you do, I mean, people was like in panic about going outside. They was like, I went shopping and I got food for like 6 days and I'm not going nowhere. And this fool's talk about I was hungry. And so I walked to Subway and grabbed a sandwich where I was accosted by 2 white men who beat me up, tied a rope around my neck, yelled, "This MAGA country," and I fought them off. Of course I fought them off. Where I returned to my home, sat down, finished my sandwich, and my friend said, "You've got to call the police." Now, as a Chicagoan, I was just like, oh shit. But as soon as I heard, I blocked him. And so you know me, y'all. You know I typed it on Facebook. You know me, I can't. If I think it, I'm going to say it. I'm going to type it, whatever. And it's probably been a thing that's got me in trouble.
You think?
Yeah, because people be like, right, and then they be like, and so then what happened was people started screenshotting it, sharing it. They were then accusing me of being homophobic. I had people call up to the show, like Maze, they were writing op-eds and blogs and all types of stuff, and people were telling me that by me commenting on the common sense of it all, that I was losing black gay people millions of dollars in funding because people pointed to Maze Jackson and said, see? And then the story started unraveling.
Yeah.
Piece by piece. See, I told you so. And so, you know me, I had to do the I told you so. But then, even as the story unraveled, people were like, you know how the CPD plotted and confirmed and they had this. And I was like, yeah, okay, for real, y'all? For real. Yeah. So, I decided now that the story is coming apart, that I wanted to have... So this is there's a dual purpose of this. So one is I want to discuss this what's happening with Jussie Smollett from the perspective of a gay black man, because I can't always I can't put myself in those shoes. But then I want to talk about the broader issue of black and gay and black, which comes first. And in a case like this, it seemed like it was a gay issue, but by the time it's over, he gonna be still a Negro, right? Yeah. So here to discuss with us is Lennox McGee. Lennox writes a blog. Say the blog name. It's called
Lennox and the Second City.
As well as he is a co-host of the only gay black
radio show, one of the only live gay radio shows called The Sip.
Okay, so talk to us. First of all, Lennox, welcome to the WVON morning show.
Gay cousin.
And no, you're the gay cousin. I'm straight cousin. I'm straight cousin. You're gay cousin. Ha ha. Look, check this out. Check this out. Look at that. Ha ha hell. But what I want to do today is I really want to discuss this situation, and I really want to take a little bit of the sting out of the conversation, because I do feel like sometimes we're so hypersensitive that we can't even deal with common sense. Yeah. So Lennox, you wrote a blog saying that this case could put a noose around Jussie Smollett's career. Talk to me.
Yeah, and I got a lot of flack from that, because when I first initially heard the story, I immediately thought that it was a hate crime. I really did. I believe that. Yeah.
Are you from Chicago?
I'm from Chicago, Southside. I actually live right down the street.
Okay.
But,
what high school you go to?
Health Francisco.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so you never been down to Lower Wacker?
No, I have not.
That's why I told you. Only if you in Chicago never went. So I.
Yeah. So immediately I thought that something had happened, and I was like, oh man, another gay mash, and now it's a black gay man, and now it's white people picking on gay black people. Like it was believable for me. Like I didn't think anything of it twice. And then once the story starts to unravel, as far as with his interviews and him not showing up to police reports, and I actually called my source at the police department, and he was telling me he was not really compliant, not showing up for interviews. They actually searched his house, and they found a magazine with letters cut out, and that he actually had received 2 death threat letters on his at studio and here in Empire, and also at his home here in Chicago. But they also found letters cut out at those Nigerian brothers' houses as well. So it was conflicting when I heard those reports, and I was like, oh, Jussie, for real, you messed up. Like you're putting a noose around your entire career. So now that he is now no longer considered a victim by Chicago Police Department.
Or us.
Wait. So let me back up. Because Lennox, do you think he's a victim still? Because I still think that there are people saying that he's still a victim.
No, I mean, I don't think he is. And a lot of people say that we should have interview the subway person, the guys again, check the bank records, all that good stuff. But I don't think so. I mean, in my blog, my first sentence, I say I think he's lying. I think this is not true. Just because it's just not adding up. And it really hurts me because I'm a huge fan of Jussie. Like I want to date him.
Oh God! Juan said this was a grinder date gone wrong.
The grinder date went wrong.
Oh, that's actually not I didn't even think about that.
See?
Yeah, you're right.
That could have been a good plot.
Yeah, that could have been really good. That would actually been a more believable plot.
Exactly. That's what I said. He should have hired me to be his character. I would have helped him out.
Right.
Boy, just say he was on Grindr.
But it disappoints me because Jussie, he's such a renowned, like he's such a great figure for gay black men. I think on television and even in real life, he's done a lot of stuff for us and the community. So it sounds like an empire. So
it does. It really does.
It really writes as an empire.
Yeah.
So my question becomes. So I was suspect of this. Like I really just felt like from the moment I heard the very first out, and it had absolutely nothing to do with being gay.
Right.
It just didn't add up. Mm-hmm. And when I expressed my Chicago-ness of it, I was immediately, people were accusing me of saying that I was homophobic. They were saying like, how could you not care about this man? And it was happening. And I want to talk about how can we address issues when the LGBT community gets involved, because anything you say can and will be held against you.
Absolutely.
So I want to talk about that, because how do we have real conversations? And then the other part I want to talk about is black and gay, or gay and black, which comes first? Because I think when all the people were paying attention to it, and it was the biggest thing, it was because it was a gay hate crime. Yeah. But now that it is not, it's going to be a black issue. Yeah. And Jussie is going to go from being a gay hero to still a Negro. Yeah. And I want to talk about that, and how do we deal with those in that. But we got to go to traffic and weather, so we'll talk about it when we come back. Lennox McGee, Juan Teague, Mays Jackson will be back.
You did good.
I do a live show every week.
He like, look at one like, Juan like, I'm here now. So you did good. She like, I'm encouraging you. Good job. Look, I'm with you. He like, I got a show. Thank you very much.
One person. He's with two.
He's two. No, he got two people. He said it's two people.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Well, your show is 3 days. This is one.
Where is it now? Where does it broadcast? Where do you air? Where's it air? Is it online?
It's actually Dr. Finney's station. Well.
Okay, so hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say no more.
Y'all good? Okay.
We're actually leaving it. Though. We're going to go TV now. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Where you gonna go?
We're looking at CIU, WCIU, and also.
Are you brokering? Or are you
brokering? Well, that or brokering if WCIU doesn't work out.
You'll broker it from WCIU?
Yeah.
How much is their time? Is it expensive?
It's really expensive. Yeah.
All right, I can imagine. Damn, you got good sponsors?
Yeah. Well, talking to people, giving hand jobs where we can.
Oh my God! Look, the Fire Fest. Did you see Fire movie? Oh God.
We just rent a studio too and just do a live there too. Because it comes in 2 weeks for us. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Mickey, on my head it says, what does it say? They lose yourself today or savage?
I don't know.
Savage.
Savage. Yeah.
Oh, it says savage today.
Huh.
Let's see. Race and gender.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Juan, I'm gonna call you cuz. What up, Juan? What up? Oh, that's Juan. Not only say what's up. What's up, Tiger? What up, Mr. Barnes? What up, Gordon Newman? Man, I think Jussie should be banned from Chicago. I'm almost about to tell you. I think Empire has something to do with it too. Like,
Well, the funny part is, and I'll mention this when we come back on the air, he has an album coming out next month.
Right.
Yeah. And
the gay Tupac.
The single came out like 2 weeks after, but the single came out.
And I have to still. Y'all know I had to be here. I'm telling y'all.
Yeah.
It's like when rappers used to get shot right before their album when they had to go to get jail. I'm just saying, you just get shot before you go to jail. Man, people used to say Pop got shot. Well, Pop got shot.
I mean, look at the art that his death letter. Who would give them little sticks?
Right, they're like.
You already were doing clippings from a magazine, so you might as well just clip some pictures. Right? Don't go do
Of him, right? Of him, right?
Just put a picture of him on there. Like, go to his Facebook page, cut a picture out, and put his picture and write a piece around it. Why you gonna do stick figures? Come on now. Stop playing. Like, really? Like, really?
You all are not that you are being insensitive.
He made a vision board and came out better than
Okay, now let me ask you a question. Are those monkeys racist? Hold on. Turn around.
We turn around. No, I don't think so. I think they're trying to show diversity.
Okay.
Wait, I don't know.
They look the monkeys.
It's not an
They're the heroes, aren't they?
He could be a monkey hero.
Wait, are they humans? But not really? Oh, no, they're monkeys. Huh.
Oh, somebody said, I see the gun on the stick figures. He made a stick figure gun?
Yeah. And it had bullets, too.
Bullets.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
So I'm just asking y'all don't think them, like, how come everything else is gray and then they made them black like that? I'm just telling you.
Heroes on there?
Man, you could be a monkey hero. Super monkey.
I'm a monkey hero. Maybe they wanted monkeys to be white, so they made them white, because really monkeys are dark like us. So, he ought to be a... Ooh, it had to hurt. Y'all see this stick figure? Did they see that stick figure? Can you see it? Can you see it?
It is crazy.
Look. Can y'all see that
Stop moving. Go back. Bring it down. Down.
Down?
Okay, right there. Stop. Go back up just a little. Now don't move.
Y'all see it?
Yep, they can see it.
That is crazy.
That is horrible art.
Baby. Stop. They had a little 2-year-old. I don't want my fingerprints.
Right. You jump in the
right there. Tell him
They ain't in the book.
Do this right now. Do this. Y'all fingerprints ain't on there. Man, we should get a vision board. Just put it up and say, I want to be more famous with my music. And figure it out.
Oh, Jussie.
Hey, my cousin Doretha.
Need some attention. Oh, so you are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. That non-singing you hear in the background is my cousin Juan, and we talking to our gay cousin as well. you know what? So the gay Tupac, I mean, y'all, it was so obvious to me. Like when he was like, Sonya, play that clip again about the whole, just play that. Right?
My doctors in LA and Chicago cleared me to perform, but said to take care, obviously. And above all, I fought the back.
Now the gay.
Wait, what did he say?
I'm the gay Tupac.
Both my doctors in LA and Chicago cleared me to perform, but said to take care, obviously. And above all, I fought the back.
Now, just think, okay.
Wow. I had never heard that.
You never, wait.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, that's the biggest thing I heard. Was when he said the gay Tupac. So help me, Lennox. Help me understand. Because I'm going to tell you this. I think that this Jussie Smollett story is going to set both black people and gay people back. But I think it's going to set black gay people back.
Oh, my God.
Because, you know what? I think people are going to be less sympathetic to claims of assault or real actual hate crimes.
Yeah.
But this was obviously bogus, and it feels like now. I want to understand, how do we talk about issues like this when they seem to be so apparently, transparently bogus,
right,
but without offending the gay community? Because good God, it's like, man, once you do it, it's like you are guilty and they go in, and it's like there's two groups in the world you cannot offend. The tribe and gay people.
Yes.
Because they will take you out.
Yeah.
Help me understand, how do we call BS without
being homophobic?
Right.
I mean, that's a hard line to tether, I think. And I think would this conversation be different if I wasn't here, right? You know, like even like, you know, given that talking about this story. But I mean, even it's a really hard line to tether. I don't really know the answer for you. Like I feel like if I heard have I read your tweet or Facebook post and I'm like, oh my God, that's really homophobic. How could you be so insensitive? I would say that immediately, because I would just think like, because as a gay black male, we're constantly, not constantly, but I mean, we're being attacked a lot. And verbally, physically, I mean, trans people are getting murdered around the city, even Chicago. So it's just a very sensitive subject. And so for you not to be a part of the group, part of the family, or even consider a known ally, it causes a lot of rift.
And so my question becomes, though, again, because most of the things that I talk about impact black gay people too.
Right, no,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so it seems as though, for instance, I saw that as a bogus, like when I talk about what's in it for the black people, we don't separate out gay people.
Right.
It's everybody. My question is, are you a victim of racism more or homophobia more?
That's a really good question. And I would say I'm a victim more so of homophobia more, and visibly homophobia more. Because, I've gotten turned down from jobs, gotten turned down from like interviews.
But is that because you're gay, or is it because you just didn't interview well?
I mean, I assume because I'm gay.
That's in your head though. Right?
But I mean,
that is in my head.
That's in your head, because I think sometimes a lot of with my gay friends, they think that's the first thing, because it was the same thing like when you're black, they didn't hire me because I'm black, but really were you the right fit for the job sometimes?
Exactly.
Right.
And my thing is, to me, if they don't hire you, is your first answer because you're gay, or is it because you're black? Because I think that, quite frankly, unless you come in wearing a blanket,
scarf.
Then I'm like, blanket scarf.
Y'all are hating on my blanket.
But I'm saying, like, again, I don't always, like, I feel like gay becomes an issue because you make it an issue. Mm-hmm. I don't know what I don't know what your sexuality is unless you put it out there.
Right.
Right?
I mean, I think.
Or are there stereotypes?
I think the stereotypes are there, and I think idealistically, I think that's a great, noble and utopian world. But of course, I think we have these ideas of what gay people look like and what they do, how they act, the blanket scarves they wear, that kind of thing. Like it's real. Like you can see it. Like I was getting on the red line the other day, and someone said, "Move out the way," and it was a black person, and so I was like, "You motherfucking homophobe."
Hey! Get that.
Sorry.
Dumb. Did you get it? She got it. We got it.
Sorry. I'm thinking about my radio show. Sorry. But no, if it's a black person, I feel like it's homophobic. If it's a white person, I feel like it's more like racist.
Oh,
you
so
got all kind of stuff going on.
If a black person but black people. I mean, like you ever been trying to get on the train or the bus? You got to get out the way, dog. Right. You just got to move, and it's like ain't nobody care about how you feeling. Right? I'm like, dog, I got to get to work. Are you standing in the way? Are you lollygagging? Because I'll be like, get out the way at the grocery store. Look, we're gonna keep this conversation going. Lennox, can you have some time? We'll stay here. We'll continue the conversation. WVON Morning Show. We'll be back.
The talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation.
But seriously,
I'm black, I'm gay, I'm sleepy.
So if you perceive someone having a bad attitude towards you, is your instinct that is because you're gay or is it because you're black?
It's mostly because I'm gay. Yeah, not because I'm gay.
So do you identify with your gayness first or your blackness first?
Gayness first.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm such a big advocate, I'm so, I would say so homosexual. But no, I'm just so, such a fighter for gay rights and for gay issues, and me being black also obviously intersects that. But I feel like being gay is more of a bigger struggle for me.
Well, but what I find is that some of my gay friends, they're like that because they are so used to being picked upon. But what I've learned, as years have progressed, most people, family members and close people have come out and said they're gay, so there's more of a sensitivity to it.
Yeah.
Because you're now close to it.
Yeah.
Where before my brother came out that he was gay, I had my biases for it, and I didn't really have a lot of gay friends. But once I started to learn my gay friends, I'll tell them, look, I don't like heterosexual people or gay people kissing in front of me, touching me, and I say, y'all gays be going too far.
Yeah.
So I think I started to let them know what I was uncomfortable with.
Right.
And they started to let me know what they were uncomfortable. And then as you're living with these people closer, you start to understand it. So I think sometimes some gay people, they just instantly go, they're uncombative.
Yeah,
sometimes
right.
I'm like, chill, think about it.
Yeah.
And then come back. Because I think some of the hate that they think they're experiencing really isn't there.
Yeah.
It's just because the insecurities of being gay, the insecurities of being gay make you
Right, no, I agree.
It shouldn't be there.
I agree. And I feel also we have you guys to help fight the black struggle mostly, but we gotta fight it gives me room to fight the gay struggle.
Is there racism? Do you experience racism by gay people?
God. Oh my God.
I mean, gay racism.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's
a grinder. They'll call you a nigga in a second.
Really?
White guys, yeah, they'll call you a nigga in a second.
But then they put that light though, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
They still want to get with you.
Yeah, they still want to get with you, and it's a lot of fetishizing of gay black men in the gay community because white men want that big black, thing, whatever,
Look at if y'all could see May's face right now. His mouth is open like this.
But it's real though. But yeah, so they'll just say I only want black people with black big huge things and hit inbox me or no black people. Please don't inbox me or that kind of thing. So it's real. It's a huge issue.
So when you get pulled over by the police, do you think that the police officer says, "Oh, pull that gay dude over"?
Oh no.
Or do you think that when they pull you, when you are intersecting with power, do you think that power says it's going to discriminate against you because of your gayness? If you walk in a room, you don't ever talk. Everybody's dressed the same. How do people know you're gay?
It could be, they won't. They won't. They won't. They won't.
How will they know you're black?
Oh, obviously, visibly. Yeah, initially.
And so, one of the things that I say, and I'm not suggesting that you can't be a fighter for gay rights or gay issues, but I think it's I don't want to say bad, but I think it's a challenge when the black gay community puts that struggle puts the gay struggle above the black struggle, because all the white gay people could get their rights.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. Yeah.
And then at that point, if they said slavery was back, right? Your gayness ain't saving you from no slavery.
Right.
As you spend all your time fighting and doing whatever, them white dudes that was to be in charge would enslave your gay ass and do what they do. Right. And so part of my challenge is, and it's like, and I want to get an understanding, because I think of it like the Warriors, right? Mm-hmm. I think like we got black folks that got all types of stuff, but they'll have all types of interests, from accounting to fucking BDSM to straight heterosexual to whatever. We got all of these different issues. But the one thing that white folks use to oppress us is our color. Mm-hmm. And so my thing is, come to the fight, and in the fight, you can fight for gay black people's rights in the fight, but you gotta come in the black tent. Because when you separate yourself out and say, I'm gay, not black, then when they rain down, they kill you. Okay. You gonna get, like, it should be a point where if we get everybody in the tent, that it ain't no gay black bashing. Right? Internally or externally. Yeah. Now, we might have internal issues, but externally, like if you identify as gay first, externally, the brothers ain't like, oh damn, we got to go work on it. Like, man, you out here being, you separated yourself from the tribe, and they whooped you because of your blackness and your gay blackness, but your blackness in a gay community, because you in the. So I'm trying to figure out the way, because, and then the other part is, I feel like there's no room for understanding. Mm-hmm. Like, yo, I'm 50 almost. I watched Happy Days growing up on TV, and Laverne and Shirley, and I never saw two men kissing, and it ain't comfortable for me yet. Right. Now.
And it may never be comfortable for me. It's not comfortable for me.
My son sitting down watching TV, and he looking at it, and I'm like, oh my God. And my son is like, Dad, cool out. Right? And I understand that, like, my son is like, cool out. Like, he like, girl, you know what I'm saying? Right. But he ain't all been out of shape, and he helps me get to a point of, my daughter is really like that. My son be like, can we turn on the basketball? My son ain't trying to watch nothing but basketball. But my daughter, I'm using my son as the example because of how men feel about their sons. But I just think that there's no room for understanding or bringing people along. It's like all of a sudden the liberal community said, okay, this is in, we doing it, it's right, and nobody said, okay, here's a crash course, and now you telling me I can't go in that bathroom. Right. And I grew up in a binary society, and now we at freaking 5 different entities, and I don't know what to say when, and if I say, damn, this makes me uncomfortable, then I'm homophobic. If I call bullshit, I call bullshit day one, and now Black History Month is over, and now we like, you're right, that was bullshit, we lost Black History Month.
Oh.
Let's Cypress Hill.
Hey.
I got 5 on it. Shinobi. Dun, 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 dun. You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. Sitting in with me is my gay cousin, Lennox McGee. I got my straight cousin, Cousin Juan. Now, you got the morning show team. I got to say what's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, Miss Sonia Escobar, as well as Sonia Tompkins. She is the super producer here on the WVON morning show. And y'all, we having a great conversation. We're gonna circle back to this. Lennox, you cool to stick with us for this? All right, so you stick with us. We're going to move on. I want to talk about a little bit about this Obama Presidential Library. I want to read a statement very quickly. Obama Foundation spokespersons have been telling the media, as we have said before, we believe the lawsuit is without merit. We are confident that our plan for the Obama Presidential Center is consistent with Chicago's rich tradition of locating world-class museums in its parks, and we look forward to developing a lasting cultural institution on the South Side. Another point that we are reminding folks about off the record is that... Stop.
All right, off the record.
Sorry. Hey man, y'all gotta make sure when y'all tell me this.
Like it was a black marker
Right, like, ooh, it was like off the record. So when they put off the record, that means off the record. So we're gonna put that away. You know, I don't want no top secret. You know what I'm saying? But I want to go to the, in case you didn't understand that press release. That press release is, in case you did not know, a U.S. federal court judge decided to uphold not uphold a lawsuit, but decided that the lawsuit to block the Obama Presidential Center from coming to the South, being put in Jackson Park, was upheld. Now, he says he wants to have a speedy trial so that we do not have the same thing that happened with the Lucas Museum. You all don't remember? Do y'all remember that?
Very well.
I'm sorry, who's suing?
So it's once again, I titled this segment, White Folks and Black Folks Business.
That's what I was about to say. Like, who's actually suing? And that's what upsets me and why.
So I'm going to say a couple things here, and then we're going to talk about it. Sonia, can you get those names up for me, for the people, the actual people that are suing? I believe it's Friends of the Park. Oh, yeah. Which is always...
Who are these people? Do they have a life?
Yeah, they do. They have a life meddling in black folks' business.
Right.
But I want to point out something. And is it different? Oh, Protect Our Parks is who it is.
Friends of the Park, Protect Our Park.
Look, it's all, what it is white folks messing in black folks' business. But I want to take just a hot second to speak to the Obama Presidential Library, and I think it goes back to this conversation we were having with regarding Valerie Jarrett. You know, I believe that the Obama Presidential Center is going to be a benefit to Chicagoans. Particularly, it can be a benefit to black Chicagoans if we take full advantage of the opportunity. I don't necessarily believe that the full advantage is in construction, because we don't have a lot of construction companies. And the construction companies that are going to participate, they're already lined up and they're there. But it is the long-term value of what happens to those businesses and things that are developed around there. The food stores, people are going to be coming from all over the world to the Obama Presidential Library. And do they want to get Chicago barbecue? Do they want to hear soul music? Is there going to be a Michael Jordan museum? I mean, I think of all the different things that are going to happen around that center. You know there's going to be hotels in that vicinity. You know that it is going to be an economic boom. But right now, the Obama Presidential Library finds itself in a place that so many of our black people empowered find themselves in. So often our black people in power rely on the white guy, as in the mayor, or they rely on their ability to overpower the will of the community, right? They rely on their ability to silence, tell people to shut up, to put a room full of people, invite only who they want to talk to, etc. And they wind up getting a lot of times they wind up getting what they want to the chagrin of the people who were fighting, i.e. in the case of this, for a community benefits agreement. So the black folks have spent their whole time on this Obama library kicking the black community who wants the library or wants the center to the curb, because I think President Obama said, you know, once I start talking to one of y'all Negroes, then all y'all gonna pop up and everybody gonna be wanting something from me. But he was a community organizer, so that's what you did. So now, what's gonna happen is they're going to rally. The Obama Presidential Center is now going to be looking for black folks to go stand up to these white folks to say, leave our library alone. Yeah. But the same folks, they're going to rely on the same folks that they ignored to get here. The people who asked, can you imagine if the people who asked for a community benefits agreement had gotten their community benefits agreement and these white folks came over here and said they was getting ready to stop this library? Black folks would be lined up like, man, if you don't get y'all. But right now, black folks are sitting by, see, that's what you get.
So is there any plan, and you know, me, I think I should be more involved in understanding what's going on with the library.
Yeah, me too.
I really do, but, and Maze, you make a good point, like I would like to know what are they doing for the people in the community. Yeah. And when I say that for the people in the community, I don't believe in just giving some money to some organizations. I believe in how are you going to help people have long-term stability and stay in the neighborhood.
So here's what they do. Here's what they did. What they did was they appointed a commission. They went and they found a bunch of people who were willing to agree regardless. They just said, yeah, like, so, and a lot of people from our generation actually got put on this advisory board, right? So there's a couple different iterations. There's like a high level, like super powerful elite blacks that are on the board. Right. Then they put together this community advisory board, and quite frankly, they put a lot of our peers on it, like people we know. And those people that we know were given the task of providing the community yes, right? So I stacked the board full of people that were gonna say yes without making any demands, right? Without saying what's going on. So
is that really right though? I think.
Well, I think what happens, Juan, is, and it goes back to that loyalty thing I was talking about earlier. It goes to everybody wants to fight for black interests until the white folks call you and say you could get paid to not, right? And then they re-rationalize it. So right now, you're gonna see the same black folks who were at the forefront, but now they gotta go rally everybody else because they didn't cut anybody else in. So pay attention. I want you to pay attention to the names that are involved, and I want you to look at that situation. Now, black folks, here's what I'm gonna say. We cannot afford to allow the Obama Presidential Center to leave the south side of Chicago. Like, but the Obama Presidential Center team needed to do a better job of picking people. Because right now, check this out. All the people that they out talking, telling why we need this, who can they move? Remember, it's sort of like the Valerie Jarrett thing. Yeah. So they go find black folks that make white folks feel comfortable, black folks that ain't gonna shake the boat too much, but also ain't gonna tell what the real issue is, because they want to stay close to the white folks. Instead of telling them what they need to do to get the community on board, they say, I'm gonna go tell the community what the white folks said y'all need to be excited about to be on board. And now they not fighting with the Negroes no more, because the Negroes is disorganized. But let me tell you what the white folks do. They go get a lawyer and they go tie your ass up in court. And so now they getting ready to tie the Obama Center in the court, and they going to keep suing and keep on doing it. And guess what? Who does the Obama Center now have that can really go out and push back against the white folks? What they going to do? Go to a senior home and tell all the seniors like they did with the Lucas Library? They going to go get an old reverend, have him come on down with his busload of people, and they going to stand up and say, and ain't nobody listening to them? What relationships did you build? And then think about this. Think about the fact that the person that we all cared about in that process, Brian Sleep, is no longer there. Really? Brian Sleep passed away. And so if you understand that, so now Now, Obama Presidential Library, you got to go do some community work. Got to talk to some
When you
people.
do community work, my biggest thing is that I just task people is that when you're now doing community work, don't just try to get people with subliminal messaging and with like rah-rah. Actually give them opportunities. And if they don't have that opportunity, help them develop those opportunities as far as training them and developing them. I think one of the things that's missing is that when I was growing up, people taught you things. And I think when you're teaching people in the community, not just trying to make them go on an agenda, but give them a true opportunity to advance themselves as the neighborhood is advancing.
Right.
I don't think community would grow if we don't advance. And yes, a lot of them may not be that educated. I didn't finish college, but I'm doing well because people invested in me. So they just need to do the same thing. And so I challenge all those people on boards or whatever, don't just go in there being the messenger. Put an action to it.
Tell your people.
My concern is, I'm really concerned about why they don't want this to be built. They just want to keep Jackson.
No, people coming into the neighborhood that is not their business. And I think the library should go up.
Right.
I just think it just needs some people in there. And the people that are there just really just sit down, come up with an action plan on what things are you going to do. Those small businesses, how are you going to help them elevate to do a location there and then put them a map for the next 10 years to have 2 other locations. Help now build generational wealth for your community.
And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you again. I think that the Obama Presidential Library or Presidential Center is important. It's gonna be a tremendous economic engine. But I think that group has to figure out what's in it for the black people.
Yeah.
Now, the suit. Now, I think I'm getting a lot of feedback, but I just feel like this, y'all. Who do we know? Who do we know that wins when the Presidential Library Center is built? Who in the community?
Who in the community? And I think.
See how that's that answer?
No, I think
the community.
I think that's a valid thing. I think if they came out in the community and said, okay, we're doing this for the businesses that are in the community, the people, this is a workforce center that we're putting together so that then they can advance into these buildings and not giving them hourly jobs. That's what I hate is when people just bring our community and say we're giving jobs and they're hourly. No, I want them to be managers, and then also if it's an opportunity for them to franchise, teach them that. I hate when people say they're coming to the community, giving a check to an organization and thinking, oh, I did good, giving them an hourly job.
But that's the hustle, right? And so they get the people and they say, hey, we're gonna give these Negroes a training center.
Yeah.
We're gonna train y'all, we're gonna have an apprenticeship, a pre-apprenticeship program. Think about the county hospital right now. They building a multi-billion-dollar hospital and they had a press conference to show us 5 black people who were in the pre-apprentice program, which meant that they wasn't even guaranteed a job. Yeah, I think that this is one of those cases where we've got to stop allowing, when our peers get to the boards, they are redoing what our predecessors did.
Who's the alderman over there?
That is Leslie Hairston.
Okay, I don't know her that well. But one thing I can say, like, when it comes to aldermen, one alderman I know because I've worked with her, and she was stern, and me and her first butted heads, but then when we really started to understand was Sophia King. She don't play, and I'm just telling you, she do not play about what is done in the community. Like she will check me. And so honestly, like when it came to that, between her and Mays opened my eyes as far as political wise, like what you need to demand. And I think some people need to use their intellectual property to say, no, I'm not doing this unless you help my community in this way.
And that is the premise of what's in it for the black people. The premise of what's in it for the black people is once you get there, your job is not to comply with the white folks. Your job is to represent the black folks and the interests. And I'm saying just think about I want them people to think about everybody who told them you can skip over the community, don't nobody care about none of what them Negroes say. And right now, them are the same Negroes that would be going to war for you right now if they had something. Hey, y'all, let me take a couple of these calls and then we're going to get up out of here. Let's go to Roderick. Roderick, you want to talk Chicago 1690. You got 30 seconds. Well, let me say, dang, brother, you gonna send me a lesson plan?
Yeah, right.
I take my job. What I'm really coming to recognize is I take my job as an educator here politically serious. But y'all, it's a lot going on. Good Lord, like you didn't. I'm sorry, brother. I'll try and get that in the look. Jay, you on the Talk Chicago 1690.
Mays, I remember a couple of months ago when you were raising against the Obama plantation that the aristocracy came down personally and grabbed the mic and told you where your place was. For us field hands who live south of Hyde Park trying to make ourselves work in the morning, we don't mind having the plantation put up, but understand that they could put it in some other ward like Mitchell's ward and develop that area because it's going to go to the aristocracy. Now there's field hands out here who need to work on Cornell side to get our kids to school. And I'll put my Wakanda card history against anybody out there.
I heard that. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Jay.
Nice.
Let's go to, I'm missing which, okay. Let me go to the real Mike. The real Mike, you're on the Talk Chicago 1690. Hello? Did I get the right one?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
O'Connor.
All right, what's up, Mike?
Doing?
All right.
Hey, look, first of all, in terms of the library, all you got to deal with is the community benefits agreement. What you do, it's an ordinance to prevent the displacement of residents from the area surrounding the Obama Center by having 30% set aside of affordable housing, property tax freeze, and funding for local jobs and affordable housing. That's actually a referendum on the ballot for those individuals in a number of the wards here in the city. And let me say hi to Lennox. I'm a 1975 health graduate. And I also want to say to everybody, I wake up black and gay every day. There is no such thing as one before the other. I don't know of any black movements that basically say if you are black and gay, you cannot be a part of it. So we're all part of the solution. We all need to be on the same page. And that's my comment for today. Have a good day.
Hey, Mike, hey, you know what, Mike, and I appreciate you. So look, we got to get up out of here. They're giving me the sign. You know, I got to get out of here early. It is Urban Business Roundtable. So for Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, for Miss Sonia Escobar, the music conductor of the Soul Plane, as well as Miss Sonia Tompkins, she is the super producer. For my gay cousin, Lennox McGee.
Thanks for having me, man.
And my cousin them, Juan.
Oh, yeah.
Juan T, she on her way to Punta Cana. Punta Cana. Ah, see, y'all stay up out of them damn Punta Cana. Now let me find y'all you know how y'all be doing down in Dominican. Look, for all of y'all, I am the host of the WVON Morning Show, and if you don't like it, you can still tell them. May said, we out of here. Peace.
Live from the WVON newsroom, here's
Boop.
How are you saying?
Hard rock.
Nice.
So do you know Charles? You know Charles Edwards, right? You don't know Charlie Chase? He used to do. You know what? That's funny. Juan, when did you get on the scene? When did you get on the scene? Chicago. You know, like the events and like in parties and promotions.
Yeah.
Well, Kanye first was 2007.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I'm saying I don't remember you from like the 90s, the late 90s, early 2000, like when everybody was in the war.
Remember, I started at the House of Blues Hotel. So
No, what were you doing before that?
Well, no, actually it started around 2004 because that's when I worked with Julian and did that when Obama was running for senator and was doing like basketball stuff. But I didn't come on the scene until like 2007.
Right. Okay.
Did you do that Janelle Monáe party?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Man, that was one of me and Carrie's first dates. Janelle Monáe. That one had a good time. That was at Bobby Simmons' joint.
Yeah, that was at Bobby Simmons' joint.
Yeah.
I had a good time. Well, I think I still got my glasses.
Yeah,
That's when I was like, oh, Janelle Monáe.
Yeah.
And then it was
And
like,
she got all in the crowd
and then it was like, you can hang that up, brother. I was like, she might love me one day. It was like, oh, no, she not gonna love me. Like, I'd be like, yo, you know I'm fresh to death. And I be standing around like y'all know I'm cold. And Carrie's like, dude, give it up. All right, y'all, we up out of here. Appreciate you. Lennox, we'll have you back, my man. That was fun. Good times. I appreciate you, my brother. Did you show everybody his blanket? All right, man.
Oh, I modeled it and everything.
I saw. All right.
That's so crazy. Bye, guys.